There we
Here
go.
we are. We are live. Yeehaw. Paolo
Absolutely.
on his cell phone, so he looks a little different tonight.
Uh-huh. They'll probably have to yell.
Let's hope you don't have to yell too late. Like you said, you're coming through pretty loud. StreamYard does a pretty good job at evening out the sound, so
Excellent.
hopefully you won't. The whatever that's called, the auto leveling. Boy, I think I'm getting a lot of glare or something. my eyes are still tired.
Yeah, you can.
So I saw just before we came on, a writer died from Spawn. I didn't recognize his name.
Huh.
I guess they were like from the early days of Spawn. I'm like, who? I think he wrote other Spawn things, not the main book.
So it's not Brian Haberlin.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that was his name, but I'll have to look. Spawn. Let's look right here. Since you don't have your computer to look things up on, let's see. Spawn writer. Death. Let's see what pops up. Not Todd McFarlane. News. Nope. I just keep getting Todd McFarlane. Not him. Oh well. I don't know where it came across my Facebook feed.
Mm-hmm.
But don't see it now. I really should have written his name down, but I was like, I'll figure it out later.
Right. Yeah, there was a second Spawn book way back in the day called The Curse of Spawn.
Oh yeah.
Was I know that Bendis used to write the Semen Twitch book.
It wasn't Bendis. Let's see. Put in Curse of Spawn. See what happens. Like I'd not Curse of Spawn. Oh, those are main characters. Written by Alan B. McElroy. I don't think that was him. It's gonna just drive me crazy now. But like it was a name I had never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a picture of him where he looked like a heavy metal guy.
It kind of makes sense. Spawn is a visual that has to do a lot with
Yeah.
some metal cultures.
Mm-hmm. And heavy metal guys are kind of, it's tough to pin down what era they're from. A heavy metal guy from 1991 looks a lot like a heavy metal guy from 2021. The fashion hasn't really changed a whole lot.
Yeah, once I went out with other comics fans, and we went out to a place, and then I see guys with mohawks, and it was like 2006 or something, man. There are still punks with mohawks in 2000.
Though there was one way that heavy metal guys' fashion changed, and that's when they shaved their heads. Like I forget who it was on like one of the, because it used to be all long hair, but then like one of the guys from like I think it was Metallica was going bald, so he shaved his head. And then other metal guys started shaving their head too. So you can have the long hair or the shaved head and still be in the metal fashion.
Yeah, and then the emos were into Smashing Pumpkins. Well, the teenage emos. I don't think real emos.
Hello there, Comics
Hey.
Progressive says comic book rulers. The Judas Priest singer, 62 Lefty Blues says, I think it was even before him shaved his head. You're right, he shaved his head eventually too. But I think even before him, it was one of the guys in Metallica. But I don't really know. I know I had a cousin who started shaving his head after the guy in Metallica did. like in sometime in the 90s. Missing Mars says, "Gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. Gentlemen, start your engines." Ooh.
That's at the Indy 500.
Which isn't here yet. Right? When's did that just happen?
It's in Memorial Weekend.
Okay, yeah. I thought, trying to remember, it happened in May, end of May. Yeah. So recently. And I was checking in with my, matter of fact, where did I put them? Checking in with my LCS owner this week on his sale of Queen in Black. Was that it? The Hella miniseries that came in pack, it came in, you could buy them. I mean, talk about making them like trading cards. They were selling a box of, Marvel was selling a box of blind bags. So that's how they were marketing this time. If you wanted to try and get them all. And there were certain ones that only came in the blind bags. You could, I don't know, I think there were 20 in a box. So the price was probably up around $200 for a box you could buy of Hella and open them all. So like I said, my LCS, he and his, so I think sometimes he mentioned he and his friend did this, go in on something like that. And of course, he's the LCS owner, so he gets them at, whatever they charge the LCS, to then try to sell them online and make money. And it wasn't that, it seemed nobody wanted those. I last week, that was because it's been 2 weeks now, and the first week he was like, the only, so far, like the day they came out, people weren't clamoring for them. So he was like, that's a little disappointing. And then the following week, it was only the DNA is the guy's name, covers of her in a swimsuit that were selling for like $30 a piece. Then this week, he was like, even those have slowed down this week. And something else started to pick up a little bit, but not. So it's like the Queen in Black, he's still got to sell a few $100s worth of stuff to break even. He's like, Yeah,
well, trying to join another crossover with the blind bag craze. They're bound to make people bored with it very quickly. So I think it's going to happen just like with the Heroes World collapse, and there's going to be people just getting away from comics because they were all about the investing, and none of these have any long-term prospects.
Yeah. So I don't think we discussed this, but Comic Rack says, "What's up, gang?" Iron Zero says that's what they call it. That's why they call it speculation. We've discussed before how we don't know if any of these like ratio variants and things are going to have long-term value, because anybody who has one gets one right away. Mm-hmm. It's not like 5 years later someone's like, "Ooh, I got to have that ratio value from variant from 2021."
Yeah. You end up paying $250 or $500 for a comic that in 5 years is going to be worth 10.
Yeah,
if that much.
Right. Well, you can always sell it for 10.
That was a smart decision.
You can always sell it for 10.
I think we're going to end up again with a low number of customers, and I'm not sure what's it going to take to bounce back this time. The only exit I see is people figuring out that there's no reason to keep buying Marvel and DC because nothing sticks.
Oh, DC's doing well. DC is right now doing really well with their Absolute line, so they're in good shape.
Yeah, but
Marvel's got to figure out what they're doing. Marvel's using the tricks.
Yeah. I think they're going to do a Marvel Universe Star Wars crossover.
Oh, yeah, I just saw something about that. You're right. A Marvel. Some of those are actually clever, but I'm just not interested in them. Like, I didn't read them. I read about them, like some of those Marvel Aliens ones. People have liked. They said they're clever, but clever only gets you so far in the superhero market. Like clever sells to people like you and me. It doesn't sell to like the mainstream superhero person, I don't think.
And I don't even know which characters they're going to cross over and how.
Spider-Man, Wolverine.
None of those make any sense. It has to be a team because it's cosmic.
I think they do. Yeah, I don't know how the two universes cross over, because not everybody has superpowers in Star Wars.
Right.
I think Kevin Smith is doing Star Wars Marvel, so that should be clever. It should be at least thought out. But like I don't know. I'm not going to get it, so it doesn't matter to me. But I imagine the first issues will be in demand, and then it'll quickly peter out. That's Spider-Man, Darth Vader #1 will be in demand. Everybody will want it. But by the time Spider-Man, Darth Vader #4 comes out, it'll be a quarter of the sales. Because you just want it because it's Spider-Man, Darth Vader. And you want to have that. So you want that first issue of Spider-Man, and you get it, and then you're like, I don't need any more.
I just know which one is going to be Mandalorian Deadpool.
Hey, I like it. Captain Finity is here with his bucket of popcorn. Mandalorian Deadpool. I think you're onto something. Oh, Wilson, I'm having problems signing in. I'm going to restart the computer. So
you can join from the cell phone like I did.
Restarting the computer. But and there's also I've showed these before. I occasionally get them. These are New York Giants football cards with a piece of jersey in them. So that blue square is supposedly a piece of game-worn jersey or something. Who knows? I get them because they're kind of fun and shit. Like who do I got here? Kyle Loretta, who was like a Giants backup quarterback in, I don't know, 2018. Nobody knows who he is. Oh, look, there's Chris. Hey there, Chris. How are you doing today?
Good. What's up, guys?
All right. Captain Finity says my ears are still ringing from Paolo's glass smash last week.
No, not gonna smash a glass today.
But much like that, I paid $3.25 shipped and taxed for this, and on the back, I guess, is the price some store was trying to get for it at some time, because it says $100 on the back. And that's kind of what buying a box of those Queen in Black comics is, because like sports cards now, in the olden days when I was a child and you bought a pack of sports cards, you were trying to get, the players you liked. You're a Giant. I'm a Giants fan. I want to get the Giants, or you want to collect the whole set. Once they introduced chase cards, that changed everything. And of course, nowadays, all anybody wants are the chase cards, or the box hits, as they're called these days. And a box hit is usually like an autographed card that there's one per box in. So you're spending $100 on a box of cards for that one card. You don't even care about the rest of them. And I think buying a box of comics is probably like is if that were to become a thing more than it is now, would be something like that. It's like you don't even care about the other 19 comics in the card. You're just looking for that box hit. Hey, where's my water? I forgot to bring it over.
How was Terrificon, Chris?
I was just about to ask him. How was Terrificon, Chris?
Oh, man, it was terrific.
Well, that's expected.
Jacob Chabot was there.
Jake was there. Franco was there.
Franco was there. Bob Wyachek was there. I know he went.
I didn't see him.
Did not. It was a big place. Walter and Louise Simonson were there.
Saw them. Now I don't know them, so I saw them. I'm like, oh my god, there they are.
You never met them?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bother them.
You're allowed to introduce yourself sometime.
No.
Wilson Ramos Jr. has entered the studio. Let's get Wilson in here. His computer's up and running.
He's a guy I did not see this year.
Finally.
Who I did see last year.
Yeah, he was not at Terrificon this year.
I did not go to Terrificon this year. I had planned to, but it just didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
Did you have a good show, Chris?
Yeah, it was fun. Got to see the guys. Hung out with Jacob.
Very cool.
Did you make some money?
No.
Oh, well. That stinks. Want to make some money at these cons. Iron Zero says, in the variant tip, I'm still looking for Marvel 2021 number 4B, which is 125 over. Looks like 2 copies are on eBay. One for 25, one for... So someone is looking for a specific variant. Look at that. It does happen every now and then. I was just giving Paolo the variant report from my local comic shop on the boxes of Hella's Queen in Black story. It's only going middling. Nobody really wants all those covers.
They're
really nice covers.
Mm-hmm. And such a popular character to pick.
Well, I actually think one of the reasons most of the covers are good is you can't go wrong with that Jack Kirby design.
Yes.
But you're right. No one cares about Hela.
Very good design on a character no one cares about.
It is not Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, if you do something based around all of the Asgardians who are not Thor or Loki nowadays, nobody cares. I mean, let's do an event focused on the Warriors 3.
What year did that Thor movie with Hela come out? Is that like 5 years ago now?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Ragnarok? I bet it's closer to 10 years ago.
I don't remember which one it was. No, it was
Ragnarok.
It was Ragnarok?
Yes. Chris is correct, and it probably is closer to 10 years now.
Once again, I think everything was 3 to 5 years ago.
Unfortunately, I know exactly what you're talking about. The other day was like 5 years ago. You know.
When I think something's really far away, it was 5 years ago. When I think it was kind of close, it was 3 years ago. And like Chris said, both are probably closer to 10. Did you make it to the comic shop this week, Wilson?
Unfortunately, I did not.
You did not? You're going to have a lot of comics waiting for you.
I'm going to have only this week's comics and last week's comics and a couple of things that I ordered from the comic book shop, that I ordered from their website and had it sent to the comic book shop. So they should be maybe 3 bags of items.
And you'll have next week's comics since you'll be going next week.
Right. Although I've been considering maybe I'll go tomorrow just to get the books.
Well, I'll start out by showing you a Godzilla. I didn't pre-order this one because I remember thinking about it. I remember mentioning it to you guys, but I had too many comics that week. But it turned out I only had 7. Because sometimes when I do the pre-order, what shows is coming out that week doesn't always end up. They can be shifted by a week or two. So I only had 7 this week. So I picked up Kyle Baker's Roar of the Worlds, which is a War of the Worlds. And it's interesting. He's doing this sort of old-timey style. and it takes place in Japan in the year 1900. So it's weird because it's Japan in the year 1900, but it's got this kind of 1950s classics illustrated drawing that's also sort of like an old Godzilla movie. So it's got a really, it was good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Where is he? And of course, I like Kyle Baker's War of the Worlds tripod ships too. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, that is neat. Again, that's all part of the Monster Piece Theater
Right.
set, so I should have it waiting for me.
Okay.
War of the Worlds is one of my favorite stories, the original book. And so I really do enjoy when they use War of the Worlds stuff.
Well, you like this one?
And yeah, I think I would because of that. Because again, especially when they take stuff from the original book, and that's about the time period War of the Worlds took. We only get to see what was going on in London in the books. In the movie War of the Worlds, we see what's happening in America. So that's pretty neat to see what's happening in Japan because they did land globally. Yeah. So we get to see bits and pieces of it. So
I'll show you the Tom Scioli cover. That's the Tom Scioli cover. Oh, this is the Kyle Baker one. This is the Tom Scioli one. And they've got some little, the two other covers. I went with the Kyle Baker one.
That's a good, strong cover.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's nicely done. We get the tripods, a couple of them. But you know what's funny about this that I found amusing somehow is Godzilla was doing a lot more punching in this comic than I've ever really seen him do. I'm like, Godzilla punches?
Yeah, Godzilla knows how to fight. If you watch his older movies, he kind of knows how to wrestle, and he does moves and stuff like that.
I know he kind of did in those old movies because it's a guy in a suit. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But probably actual giant lizard would fight a lot more with his tail than Box. But Godzilla was doing a bit of, punching those, and ended up grabbing them too. I've just not seen him use his arms that much. But he was doing some of it in here.
Lizards bite, actually.
Well, he's also got radioactive breath too. So.
Sure.
But yeah, lizards bite. They also do use their tails. Like the kimono dragon will kill you with its tail and then bite you, or bite you and then
bite you and let the poison slowly make you slow down.
Right.
And if you ever watch the Kong versus Godzilla acts more reptilian in that, where he's almost on all fours chasing and biting at Kong.
And it's not even venom or poison. It's like bacteria and crap that's in their mouth.
Yeah, they don't brush their teeth, apparently.
Yeah, it's like horrible things that live in their mouth and will kill you with gangrene in a few hours or something.
Pretty much. But it looks like a good book, so I definitely will look forward
to it. You'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it.
It should be waiting for me in the comic book shop. I did get comics this week, though, in the sense of I got some comps mailed to me from the public domain funnies. Even though I have 4 issues here, they're the same interiors. It's just alternative covers. So this is being published by Studio Shikara.
These are comic strips that are in the public domain?
So they're comic book characters that are in public domain, but the interiors is newly drawn materials.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Starting basically from that time period and going on from there. So there are 3 stories in this particular book.
Steamboat Willie.
Right. So we have the covers we have are this one, which is the Betty Boop one.
Right.
The next cover is kind of a jam piece with all the characters that appear in it.
Popeye, Steamboat Willie, Betty Boop. Olive oil, wimpy.
Here's the Steamboat Willie one, based on the story of the original story concept is from Plain Crazy. So it's part of that group. And
Okay, that's one of the cartoons that
that's gone into public domain with the Mickey Mouse character or Steamboat Willie. And then the last cover is more to the Popeye Thimble Theater.
Okay.
And then
a new Popeye story, a new Betty Boop story.
Right, all based on stories that are in the public domain.
Right.
The way, because in the index, it pretty much talks about where the inspiration of those particular stories come from, and in the back of the book, we also have a Jerry Beck, who's a cartoonist researcher, has done kind of like a interview in the back of the book, talking about the comics that were used and a nice like four-page article. That was a word I couldn't think of before. Article. And so designing like a magazine article in the back.
Okay.
And not that I've done it too many times, but the article they gave me and some artwork to use made it where it's like I had to make the fonts a little large to take up space, because the whole article probably could have fit on like 2 pages.
That's how you can always tell when there's not a lot of writing.
Exactly. So, and then here's the back cover, so you can see what the new books will be focusing on. Cosmo Cat, and then another Steamboat Willie story. So it was, and the covers, by the way, were all designed by Dawn Guzzo.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, oh, do you need me to do the covers? Like, nope, Dawn already did the covers. So all I had to do is put the book together, the files for print. So those I received my comps this week, and I'm happy, very happy the way they came out and how they look.
Okay. We're showing something, Paolo?
Going back to War of the Worlds.
Ah, yes, that's one of the ones that
Superman
I have.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, Elseworlds.
There we go.
That one I think was very well done.
When did that come out?
1999, and it was still $6 for a prestige format.
Yep.
I'm going to reread this.
I definitely kept that for my bundles because I enjoy.
Those are probably about $9.99 today, right? I think is the price on the prestige format. I can't remember. I'll have to look.
I don't recall myself the last time I got a prestige format book. I mean, there's been times we paid $9.99 for a regular annual.
Yeah, I don't think they do proper prestige format anymore. They just have pages.
No, all the prestige format was the glued binding and the glossy paper.
Yeah. But nowadays they don't do that.
Yeah, they still put out ones like that, I think. Well, they just put out the facsimiles of the JLA. But but a lot of times they do go with this, like on the oversized books, they do go with the staples instead. I have seen that too.
I think they were calling them also graphic albums. So you had graphic novels, graphic albums.
Graphic albums are the European size ones. So
are they? Okay.
Yeah, with the glued binding. I think those are actually cheaper. Like I think that I was just discussing Distillery. Remember them? I haven't bought any of their books in a while. They're all 8.5 by 11 glued binding, graphic album style.
Right.
But but they're all also kind of meant to be hardcovers in the end. So it's kind of like, hey, may as well just wait for the hardcover. They're all like 3 issues, and then they put out a hardcover.
Right. Okay.
Let's see. Pulp Readers' The Batman First Night was oversized and perfect bound. It just came out within the last. Yeah, they've been doing, like, Black Label has been doing a lot of that, like graphic novel, graphic album format. The oversized ones are usually 8.5 by 11. You also asked, are you going to pick up that new Firefly, Jared? Yes, I am. I just started reading the Fireflies I bought this winter. I got through the first 12 issues and enjoyed them. Who did those? Greg Pak and Dan McDade. I liked the first 12 issues, but I haven't gone back to read more since I read a few more issues of that Stephen King, Jay Lee, big omnibus I took out of the library. I had to renew it again because I didn't get it read in time. It's kind of middling so far. I read about 5 or 6 issues in it, and it's a little okay. It's, like it's an adaptation of the super long Stephen King novel series, so it's not moving very fast. And there's a lot of like royal family type stuff in it, only in the West with like 6 characters. And it's not our old West. It's some alien world old West where I guess everybody doesn't have guns or something. I really can't give you much of a description of the world because not a whole lot has happened in it. But I'll read it a little more. I have till the 31st. See if I can get it done. Well, I think I can renew it again, too, if I want to. I don't think anyone's waiting at the library for this one.
Maybe not. The library does make it easy to renew it, especially if you do it on the app.
Yeah, just go online. Which reminds me, Hoopla, my library app, stopped working.
Really?
I click on it and it doesn't open. It just immediately shuts. I'm like, does this have to do with the new iOS update? They're going to have to work on that.
Yes, that's what it sounds like. Because I had recently started to upgrade my phone's iOS, and it didn't fully do it. And then at some point, it updated one of the apps, but the app wouldn't work because the phone wasn't fully updated to it. So it's like one jumped the gun of the other. So I had to wait until I fully upgraded the phone's app, upgraded the phone's iOS, and then the app was able to download and update itself.
And speaking of comics that didn't quite do it for me, I like this cover though. I picked up Yumi #1. Give you a look at it. Fun cover.
Yeah.
Nice back cover too. I like the graphic design quality of that.
Nice and sharp. I like that.
The art inside's pretty nice. Let me see if I can get some. It's like lots of small panels. I was looking for some bigger pages to show off the art. And it's by, let's see, Doug Wagner, whose stuff I usually buy when he draws with, what's the guy's, Daniel Hilliard, I think his name. I buy Plastic. I was a art school serial killer. Vinyl. I've showed that stuff over the last few years. I usually buy their stuff. This is the writer kind of with another artist. And the artist is Hoyt Silva, Hoyt. The colors by Kevin Lenertz. The letters by Frank, and I think these are C. C-V-E-T. Svet Kovic. If that's how you pronounce CV, it's Svet Kovic. That's one last name, Svet Kovic. First time.
And if the last letter is a C, it's not pronounced Kovic.
Oh, okay. K-O-V-I-C. How do we? Is that a?
The C probably has a hat at the end.
It's got nothing here. It's hard. This font makes the C's look like an O.
Yeah, usually it does. Let's see if I can. Okay. Yeah, Cvetkovic. Yeah, that one's Cvetkovic.
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 You should have seen me trying to read that on my, because I usually read the credits on my pull list, Paul. And I'm like, are those O's or even with my glasses? It's tough to tell. It's like they're because the C's are so round and there's only one little slit and they're tiny. This cover A is by Nicoletta Baldari. I think that's who I got. But it was it was supposed to be sort of clever and amusing. It just didn't resonate with me. The story is that Yumi here is a ninja super spy type, and she's got a crush stalker relationship with James Bond. Who they give his name here just like as I don't know, Richard. It's not. They don't call him James Bond, but it's James Bond. Mm. So she's one of the many women James Bond has slept with, except she's now in love with James Bond and wants to be with him and thinks that James Bond is just not returning her calls. So she's going to England and busting into the greetings from London. It sounds amusing. It really should have amused me more. It just, I don't know. It just didn't resonate with me. Your mileage may vary because it's a funny concept.
What's her name again?
Where is it? It's Yumi is the name of the book, so it must be Yumi. I think she must be Japanese. And everybody keeps telling her, no, James Bond isn't in love with you. And she's like shooting up the whole place, and she breaks into MI6 headquarters. And
it would be funnier if she had one of those double entendre names.
Yeah. But I don't, I guess it's just Yumi. Miss Yumi, you're not with, she gets one of James Bond's, cars and doesn't like its voice. So she keeps trying to change it to be more young and hip. It should have amused me. It sounds amusing telling you about it. But it just, I don't know, it just didn't resonate with me. I liked the art. I liked the storytelling. It's not bad in any way, shape, or form. It just didn't hit with me for some reason. But like I said, your mileage, I'm getting laughs out of it just describing it to you. So maybe you like it more than I will. Like I said, it sounds funny describing it.
Do you think you'll pick up the second issue?
Nah, I don't think so. We'll see what the cover looks like. Like I said, I like the writer's stuff with the other guy, Hilliard. Missing Mars. I hear use the app one more time. I think my head will explode. It's almost always problems with it. Captain Finch says, she's like 0069. Yeah. And all the men are just trying to tell her, hey, you're just another woman, James Bond had a little fling with. And she's like, nope, we're in love. And like I said, she's a super ninja too, so she's just kicking everyone's ass and shooting a lot. I think she's leaving some dead bodies behind her too. But the other stuff he does with Hilliard, there's always like serial killers in it. So she kind of fits the serial killer mode, even though she's not supposed to be that. She's a super spy. Have you read any good comics lately, Chris?
I haven't had time to read anything.
You're keeping up with the Energon verse?
Hold on a second. No, I'm on with Jared. Jared's podcast. Jared's talking to you. He wants to know if you've read any comics lately.
Any good ones? The spy who actually did not love me, Captain Kennedy says. Yeah.
I got some catching up to do on Energon.
Diamonds aren't forever.
I just finished rereading Global Frequency. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. How was it?
It's still fun. You know how Warren Ellis tries to go all crazy on everything, but it's a fun read. I mean, every issue is one different case. So there's no overall arching plot line, but it's fun.
Okay.
It still holds up.
Wilson's got a joke for us here. The spy that loved me and left me.
No, the spy felt so about me.
Somebody lent me Global Frequency. Who was that? I cannot remember. Years ago, someone, because I don't think I own it. I think somebody lent me it, and I read it and gave it back. It was pretty good, but it must have been Rob. Who else lends me comics? My friend Rob. He must have lent me that one day. But I remember someone saying, you have to read it. It's pretty good. And they lent me, I think it's 12 issues, right?
Yeah. Each with a different artist.
Yeah. With
was
there like
worst art
agents in each issue?
Yeah. There's a couple of repeats in the last issue, but usually it's only Miranda Zero and the person who directs all of the operations from the computer room, Aleph, who appear every time. Then it's always a different guy on the field.
I just thought of something I could compare it to. Compare it? I think Mind Management is like Global Frequency. Only I actually like Mind Management better. It's a little more imaginative. Global Frequency was trying to be a little more realistic. I would put those two in the same category, whatever that category might be. Super secret spy agency stories. So there was no superpowers in Global Frequency, were there?
No. There were a couple of physical augments, cyborgs. Okay. And there was an attempt at trying to engineer a transport warp field from the US, like a wormhole between the US and Russia.
Just where you need a wormhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd put Mind Management in that same category. If you've never read Mind Management, check it out. It's a good one.
Mind Management?
Yeah, it's MGMT, so it's not actually management spelled out. And they just started a volume 2 of it. I think issue 1 just came out, and issue 2 should be out. Did issue 2 just come out? I don't know. Either way, either 1 or 2 issues are out. And the whole rest of it's collected. There's like volume 1 was like 20, 25 issues. I can't even remember. But it's fun stuff. It really is. It's like super spy agency with weird superpowers.
Okay.
And Matt Kint is very imaginative with the weird superpowers. Which reminds me, I just last week after our show, I ended up because of Comics the Magazine. Had an interview with Matt Kint and I forget the artist's name about their new book. Oh crap! What was the name of their book? It just flew out of my head. But they got a new book coming out from Oni Press. The first issue already came out last week, but I didn't pre-order it because once again I had too much stuff that week. But I just pre-ordered the second printing of the first issue. I was like, Holy Terror! No, that was the might be Holy Terror. But that was also the Frank Miller one, so maybe it's not. Fort Psycho. There we go. Iron Zero, Fort Psycho, which I picked up this week. Yeah, I didn't get to pick it up because I didn't pre-order it, but I pre-ordered volume 2, and just because of that interview with him in Comics the Magazine made me interested in it, and Sleepy Reader gave it a good review. Captain Finity says, from Russia with platonic affection. Fort Psycho, that's the name of it. I don't know why Holy Terror overwrit that, but it did in my brain. Any comics in the future you're waiting on, Paolo?
Not really. I need to figure out a way to get about 3 years of Issues of the Mercenary that I missed down on. because the collection's being finished this year, or maybe next year. There's 18 volumes, and then there's not going to be any more because the creator's already 90.
Wow.
They still did one at 88.
Who, the Mercenary, did you say?
The Mercenary is a Spanish comic.
Okay. I thought you said like Icho the Mercenary or something like that.
No, because I'm missing about 7 issues because from the time that I wasn't buying comics, and these actually run out and don't get reprinted. So I'm not sure if the publisher still has them.
That does happen.
They are thinking about reprinting the Incal. Maybe this time it's a good idea to have it in a decent format.
Where did I just see that? I think I just saw that on a Humble bundle. Can't remember what the Humble. Do you know about Humble Bundle?
Yeah.
It's a for those who don't, it's like there's a company called Humble Bundle where they bundle together a whole bunch of digital versions of something, usually with a theme, like Dark Horse books, Image books, Tarzan books. Friar Tuck wants to see some covers of Mercenary. It says, show us some covers of Mercenary.
Sure.
And you pay either a low price or whatever you want, and you get a whole bunch of digital books. So I think I saw the Incal on one of those recently. Yawn. Sleepy me. Have you read any good comics lately, Chris? You had no time to read any comics? Been too busy with convention season?
Yeah.
Got any comic book covers in the future?
I think I told you last time I got I'll be in a blind variant bag for Marvel DNX #1.
Who's that from?
Marvel
DNX?
DNX, a new X title.
Okay, I don't think I know that one. I'll
in
keep
September.
my eyes open for that. I'll see if my LCS gets in a bunch of them to
It's going to be.
open.
You're going to want to pick it up because it's going to be #1. Those are worth the most.
Right.
Yep. But I don't want to buy 8 blind bags to get the Chris Geruso one. I want one.
Well, that's
so
how
I
they
have to wait for someone else to open them and buy it from them.
Yep.
I've been known to do that for sure.
Yep.
Blind bags are fun if you're buying one on a lark. But if you actually want the cover, they're real annoying. Talo's got some covers for us.
So this is book 1.
There's.
I'm going to show you some interiors because this is all painted art.
Friar Tuck asks, is the Mercenary Punisher-like?
No, this is set in a alternate universe, 10th century.
10th century.
Yeah, they have like Leonardo da Vinci level technology in the Middle Ages.
Uh-huh.
And they have dragons, which of course did not exist in the Middle Ages.
In case you thought people were flying around on dragons on our world in the Middle Ages, they weren't.
This is volume 2.
Sounds cool, says Friar Tuck.
It is.
Are those 64-page volumes?
These are 64, or was this still 48? They have 48 pages of story plus some extras.
Okay.
Oops.
Nice.
The thing is, they did this finish on the cover that actually are vulnerable to bumps.
To everything if they're white.
Yeah.
shelf marks will really show.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is volume 3.
I kind of like the look of them, but shelf marks will show. But I'm not really that picky about my hardcover book like that. Like as long as they're solid and I can read the story, I'm okay with a few bumps and bruises on them. Now I understand if you're buying it new, you want it in perfect shape.
Yeah.
You don't want
The thing
bumps
is
and
that-
bruises on your new book.
I could have gone for a slightly less deluxe format, but the thing is, at the print runs they're doing, it costs the same to print them with as much trimming as possible than without.
I got the first issue of something this week that looks sort of European and sort of American. It's Regicide by Patrick Kindlin and Ludwig Laliat. And this is a cover by, who does it? Adam Cyber, who I've never heard of before, but I traded in my cover A for this one at the shop. I saw this one on the shelf. I'm like, I like that one better. And then it went on my Instagram, when I show the comics off quickly, Kevin Kabasic actually tagged Adam Cyber. I was like, oh, cool. But this one, I mean, it looks, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe it's blown up because the word balloons are definitely European.
And the pages are not in proportion.
The pages, maybe they were cut up and reformatted because the art looks like it was drawn small, kind of. Like the art looks like, I should say, it was blown up.
Reformatting, that's not easy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't even think of it till now. I mean, to reformat this whole thing, I don't know why you'd do it. Or was it drawn this way?
Hard to tell.
It's really. It looks to me like it definitely wasn't drawn twice up, or 1.5 times up, or it was drawn digitally in small. But this doesn't really look like it was drawn digitally. And like I said, the lettering definitely looks European to me because it's got that, square word balloons.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very, I enjoyed it. The story is about. Can
you show me the credits page?
Sure.
Well, Lalia is definitely French. Kindlin, I don't know. It could be from Britain, from the Brittany region.
People know him as when I showed this, people are like, oh, I like his comics with whoever the writer is. I don't know him, but people do. Additional art, Rio Oka. That must, if it says additional art, that must mean they reformatted it and had to redraw it. That's the only reason I could think of there'd be additional art. If he had to draw off to the bleed and stuff.
Yeah, let me go quiet for a minute, maybe see if I can go to the Beditech website.
And the copyright is Patrick Kindlin and Ludovic Laliat. So it's interesting. Yeah, but and the story takes place. First of all, I don't know what this place name is. Terra Rumanisica. We need Paolo back to tell us where that is, because I'm not sure.
Could be a made-up place, maybe.
It's probably a place in Europe.
Yeah, can you show me that again?
Sure.
Terra what? Terra Romanesca. It's trying to sound Romanian. Because those are Romanian diacritics.
Okay. But it's a story of the main character, the guy with the scythe here, is just sort of a normal peasant going about as normal peasant. He in his village. His village elders called him in and said, "This dude needs you." This dude who's in a mask on a horse. And he's like, "Oh, we got a little thing we got to go on here." And the guy's like, "I'm no warrior. I'm just a big guy." He's like, "The elders vouch for you, so come on." And it's named Regicide because this guy's on some mission to kill the king. And they have to fight a bunch of people along the way who are trying to kill this guy on the horse. And then this woman who's half insect tries to kill him. So I liked it, despite the fact that me just trying to figure out the format confused me. Like what is this? I'll definitely try out another issue of this because I enjoyed it. And then there's a couple of weird backups, which are just sort of in the same little 3 or 4 page stories in the same The Monastery by Patrick Kindlon and Matt Battaglia. Just like 3 pages more in this story. Oh, if you want, you can follow him on Instagram for original art. So that's probably where we can find out about him. On Insta. But that, I must say, that cover really caught my eye. It was my second booby cover of the week.
Well, Kindlon's American. He's done something with a...
Did they never start with the Marvel tryout book? Amateurs, says Captain Finity. Bet they don't even render chains properly. That got Chris's attention. No chains. But like these days, everybody does change with the Photoshop brush.
Yeah, Kindlon's American, so that series is not in a BD Tech, so it was not published in French yet.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean that they didn't do it that it was not drawn in a European format,
right?
But
because additional art is really the tell that they reformatted it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need additional art unless you're reformatting. Us old production guys know that. Hey there, says T.Y. White Rabbit. Haven't seen him in a while. What's up with your shirt, Jared? It's got horizontal color fading? Yes. I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident. In terms of, you can see it here.
It's the cornstarch.
For the last 5 or 6 years, I have been buying old Tommy Hilfiger shirts off of eBay. They're cheap. I like old Tommy Hilfiger shirts, and this one was like was advertised as like Tommy Hilfiger shirts with like bleach stains, and I was like, was that done on purpose or by accident? I'm like, yeah, either way, I like it. So I ended up ordering it. Acid wash shirt, says Friar Tuck. Yeah. It's a shirt with bleach stains that are I either got extra cheap because it was by accident. It wasn't none of the shirts I get on eBay are expensive anyway, you know. And every now and then someone looks at it and goes, "What's up with that shirt?" I'm like, I know. Mineral washed too. But besides being distracted by the formatting a little bit, Regicide was a solid comic. I enjoyed it. You know what it was too? And I think it was the fact that I think the art maybe have been blown up. It reminded me, one of the things that also reminded me of European and American is you've heard me refer to the style as just get it done art. Where when you're putting out an indie book, you don't do a lot of redrawing. You just get it done because you're not making enough money to, redraw a page 3 times until you get it just perfect. You just got to draw it and move on. That's the sort of just get it done style I've mentioned before and that I've seen in some indie books. And this reminded me of a just get it done style. And I think it was because the panels were blown up. So what was like a small gesture when he drew it is now a bigger gesture. And matter of fact, I heard one YouTuber referred to it as sloppy. He's like, I don't really like sloppy art. And I can see where he was coming from. Because, let me see if I can show it again. Let me see if I can find a not so bloody a panel. Like a panel with these guys. It's just a small panel. With this guy grabbing that other guy. And I don't think it was meant to be seen that big. These are just small drawings, small, quick drawings. And it doesn't have a finished technique that looks like if you saw that drawing at half its size, you wouldn't think it was sloppy. And not every, like this drawing of this guy right here looks like it's about the right size for it. The size of the pen, that looked like it was drawn near that size. But not everything looks like it was drawn near the size. Like there's another one. That looks like it was drawn smaller and blown up. Yeah, just makes me wonder how they made this. And this, who does this woman remind you of? Because it reminds me of something, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Sort of it's got a little like, oof. My God, his name flew out of my head. I'm forgetting everyone's name. A little Richard Corbin in it. Just in sort of the way that she just her reminds me of something. Like nothing else in the books reminds me of that style. Just her for some reason. But I'll get more. We'll see.
The cover's a bit Top Cow-like.
Yeah. It's also a bit it reminded me of the artist who did Little Bird. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and he doesn't usually he wasn't drawn sort of this sexy, but the style reminds me a little bit of Little Bird. And it's got a sort of manga-ish face there.
Yeah. A lot of guys in Europe are doing that.
Whoever Adam Cyber is, ATOMCYBER. That's his stuff. And that's the cover B. The cover be all you can be. Titgoblin was late. Sold off my vintage Star Wars collection. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Hello from Missing Mars. Sounds like a euphemism for poor quality art. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. I didn't think it was poor quality art at all. But I knew what he meant by it. But to me, it seemed sloppy because I think it was changing sizes when it shouldn't have. Just get her done is the main problem with this. No, just get her done is because that you only have a certain amount of time to draw. It's a lot of work to draw a comic. But yeah, that happens in a lot of places too. We only have to spend as much. Has anyone a Little Bird impression? Oh, That's who it was reminding me of. Darcy Van Polgeest, Little Bird, yeah, and Precious Metal. That's the name. That's what this cover reminds me of. Little Bird. And I think it's the coloring style too. It's a little bird color-esque. Eva Green. Hey, the 14-inch Ninja Turtles are back on the show. Today's program looks very promising. Turtle Power. Have you read any of your comics lately, Wilson?
No. From the stack that I have here, I was moving stuff around because I need to get to my art desk because I got to do some artwork. And so I was piling up stuff to look at later, or more so this weekend. So the only thing that I took out to make sure that I have it on my pile is the continuation of. Where did I put it?
Wilson, if you have to get up to get your stack to the top of your stack, you have a problem.
Okay, the top of my stack. The stack itself is about this size. What is on top of my cabinet that has my printer on. So the stack is in front of the printer, and my to read stack is about that much. But there's more
I could just picture him
on there.
Getting on one of those lifts that they use in construction, like, and he raises up.
One of the cherry pickers?
Yeah.
No, what I have is that I'm still reading, but it got put under a pile of stuff on my art desk. Is Valerian. So.
Oh, that's right. I remember you were getting those.
Right, I read the first chapter, so I'm getting ready to read the second chapter. So I do have this out. This is I want to make sure at least I get a couple of pages in at night before I go to bed, kind of a thing. So that's been my bedtime stories, so to speak. And then I have a pile, as I mentioned before, of the books that I want to read this weekend to catch up on what they are.
Portfolio BD, that girl in the comic panel reminds me of the singer Dua Lipa. Okay, there's a name I know, but I can't picture her. Let's see. Valerian Cartoon is on YouTube.
She's worth picturing.
Kit Goblin asked Chris, how was the convention season?
It was, it's been good. Terrificon, the most recent one, was terrific.
Huh. How many conventions have you done so far this spring and summer?
I don't know. 6 or 7, maybe.
Wow.
First one was back in like March.
Yeah, still that's a bit. That's over one a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, I see a lot of space on your toy wall. Did you sell those all, or are you moving things around?
The office next door was getting a kind of a facelift. They painted and they vacuumed and cleaned, and so they were doing something against the wall, and it just knocked everything over.
They knocked the toys off your wall. Ooh.
Yes, their renovations next door caused a lot of guys to fall.
Oh, okay.
And so I decided.
He says those Valerian editions are awesome. I should probably read mine sometime. That's what we all say about certain things. That's one of the things about, like, I take something out of the library, and if it's something big and chunky, like that Stephen King Gunslinger volume, it's like, oh man, now there's like a ticking clock on it. They got to return it to the library. It can't just sit around forever. Speaking of things you forgot you bought, I was looking for some stuff today in my cabinet, and I was like, oh yeah, I bought these 2 sets of purple, violet paint markers about a month ago. Even made swatches of them. Put put them in with the rest of my markers and completely forgot. I just pulled them out and went, oh yeah, I was going to do something in purple. Stuff you forget.
Oh yeah. And purple is one of those weird colors that it's like you have to have a bunch of them to find the right one.
It is I find it to be the toughest color to work with because it can easily be too red or too blue. And if you're working with it digitally and then it's going to print, woohoo, you better know your purples.
Oh,
You better have some samples because it could print way differently than you thought it was gonna.
Oh yeah.
Tit Goblin says construction knocking out your studio assistants is hardcore. Rhymes galore. You know what? I get so many Kickstarter projects update emails. I'm like, did I order this one or not? Because there's some people too who, when they get a new Kickstarter, they notify all their old Kickstarter customers.
Right, and some of them overlap. So you'll get a couple of emails. Like you'll get the one email 3 different times because you contribute to 3 different books, but from the same creator.
Yep. And like now I just got, project update, The Witches of Oz #1. I'm like, did I order that? I don't remember. And then what happens is I almost always with comics go with the digital version. And sometimes they get the digital version to you right away. And the print version doesn't go out for another month and a half. So I'm getting emails on all the updates of the print version. I'm like, did I get the digital version already? I don't know. Because sometimes they don't put out the digital version until the print version is ready. Sometimes they send out the digital version first. It's all confusing.
Yep.
My daughter's favorite color. If she sees that, my wallet will be in danger. Your wallet won't actually be in much danger because these weren't that expensive. I'd have to look up what I paid in there. There's like a ton of cheap Chinese paint markers on the market right now. I'm guessing I didn't pay more than $15 for either of these. I think one was 10 and one was 15. I'm not even sure. But China has flooded the market with cheap paint markers. All from the same. Matter of fact, they sell a lot. You probably got the TikTok ads, right, Wilson?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've even seen people because you get TikTok ads of huge sets of paint markers, $20, $30, and there was someone I saw on TikTok who was even like, are all these paint markers the same? I think they're coming from the same factory in China. So she got like 3 sets of different branded paint markers and swatched them all. And they're all exactly the same paint.
Mm.
Tit Goblin says, Hammock Hippie is confused. Lay off the pot, Jared. Real Jared was straight edge. Yeah, kids nowadays just want to paint with those cheap markers. Yeah, there's so many of them. I actually got, speaking of kids wanting to paint with today, I've always wanted to try them out. Gel pens. These have been around forever. I bought a couple of them over the years, but this is a set of 120 gel pens from Shuttle Art. Once again, Shuttle Art makes cheap art supplies. Less than $20 for 120 pens. I was like, all right. And I ended up, where's mine? I ended up swatching all 120 pens. And there's different, like one's a glitter set, one's a regular set. So they're all kind of different. Like, I think these bottom two, I don't know if you can see the glittering on camera.
I see a light shine, but I can't tell.
Yeah, there's glitter in those ones and not on the top ones. But they weren't easy to get going. I've used, like I said, I've used a black gel pen and I use a white gel pen, and they've worked pretty well. But they were much more expensive. They were like $2 or $3 a pen, much more expensive than 120 for $20. So it was a little. There's a few in there I had to really rub against the paper to get started. But we'll see if I do anything with them. Something I keep trying to explain to her, that she should keep using colored pencils, and she almost shows me the middle finger. She's like, no pops. Jet pens are my staple. Yeah, watch out for the cheap ones. If you use them in mixed media, some pigments bleed through everything and constantly are reactivate. The best is jelly rolled Japan ones. Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'll try these cheap ones out, see if they're any good. But yeah, jelly pens are pretty good. Like I said, I've used a little bit of them, not a whole lot. The good ones are archival also. Shuttle Art usually makes pretty decent art supplies. That's why I was like, I'll give them a try. There's only $20. I don't know what I'm going to use them for.
Yeah, I've used Shuttle Art on some stuff before. It's like they've been fine.
Have you ever used gel pens?
I may have used it once or twice on sketch cards to try to get a particular effect, but I don't think I went past like the white and black ones.
That's what I've got over here. Jelly Roll White Sakura. These ones work well for an occasional little white bit you want to put in something.
Yeah.
Or signing something that's in black. So that's what I've used them for mostly. I've never had a set. You'll have a good time with that set. Have you ever used gel pens, Chris? I know you've used crayons. So.
Yes.
Let's see what he's done. Because I know you sometimes go for that drawn by a little kid look.
Are you talking about these?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do them when I need to just like.
Have you ever used the colored ones though? Like,
I have a red one.
Okay.
I haven't really used it yet. I have a ton of the like.
Because I would think they'd be good for that, you know.
I got lots of Poscas.
Okay, those are paint pens.
And then I guess you guys were saying that like China's just cranking all kinds of cheap stuff.
Right.
I found some of that stuff at like a TJ Maxx.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's all about the remark game.
Yeah. Yep. I understand that.
But these ones I find like are hit or miss.
Yeah.
And I agree. I saw somebody doing like a hack on the video and they said, no, it's just there's not enough pressure up here. So you got to take this out and jam something in there and like really stuff it to like create more air pressure and then it'll start flowing better.
I think there's a gorilla lurking behind you.
I'm not gonna look. I'm too scared.
You wearing a mask? You wearing a gorilla mask?
Oh no, that's just a Sasquatch.
Oh, okay.
That's just a Smitty.
Hey, Smitty. How you doing, Smitty? Don't give away any of your secret plot points this time.
Secret plot points.
As if anybody saw them. Let's see. Or, damn those gel pens. My students lose so much time using them during classes because they're shiny. Yeah, the cheap ones, the ink doesn't flow that particularly great. Captain Infinity says, I'm all about the Uniball Sino Broad ink pen. Just picked up another box of cartridges. The paint pens at D&D gaming stores are great too. Yeah. You know what I was just using a little bit of? And who I think I got this from Scotty Young. I think this is the pen he uses. It's a Sakura brush pen. He gave the exact number, so I want to, and it's like, I'll try that. And it's got a fountain pen refill system on it. So this brush pen is about $30, and it's a pretty good brush pen. I prefer an actual brush, but I still like brush pens too. And what the fountain pen ink system does is you don't have to use their ink cartridges. You can just, put the end of it and turn it, and it sucks up whatever ink you put in it. So I've been using the Rapidograph Ultra Draw in it, and it works well. So if you want to know what Scotty Young uses to ink his stuff, a lot of it is this Sakura. You can find them on Amazon or eBay. Kuretake, what does it say there? Kuretake. Yeah, Kuretake. There's a little tip for you if you're looking for a new brush pen.
I would give it a try.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a sucker for art supplies, as you know.
Speaking of which, because of watching the TikTok about a history of the pencil called the Blackwing, are you aware of it?
Yeah.
So I never knew anything about it, about the pencil, but this TikTok started talking about it in relationship with Jaws, because one of the characters has that pencil in it. And then it was like, and then you would notice the pencil in different movies. And why was this pencil wanted? Kind of a thing. And it was like, that's so interesting. So I went looking, and there is a site called Blackwing, and I got on their mailing list. And it's like, I haven't ordered one yet, but they talk about like a nice little history about the pencil and how the company was sold a few different times, and they lost apparently the original way to make it. So they're now stating that they have it the closest it could possibly be without being it exactly. And I just found that in itself interesting.
Yeah, Blackwing was like a famous pencil I'd never heard of, because I think they went out of business, like you said, and then they were brought back.
Right.
Speaking of they haven't been on my algorithm in a while. But did you ever see the guy who did ASMR artisanal pencil sharpening?
I have not.
I don't think I've seen him in like a year. And it was supposed to be ASMR. He'd just be, talking quietly. And the whole gimmick was he was an artisan who was a pencil sharpener. So people would send him their pencils, and they would pay him to sharpen them. So he always had on this, like, ever seen one of those metal cooking gloves?
No.
It's like a chainmail glove that people use for cooking when they're cutting stuff, so they don't cut their fingers or hand. Okay. He had one of those, and he had all these. He'd sharpen pencils in all different ways and go through the history of pencil sharpening, which of course he made up, but it was funny stuff.
Right.
Just do a search for ASMR pencil sharpening. I'll have to do that and see if I can find him again.
He may have popped up if he's also showing like different sharpeners over the years.
No, it's all just him and knife.
Oh, okay, because I saw one for a while that was like this guy.
It's a razor blade, I think he's holding in his hand.
Oh, okay, because there was a guy who popped up, and every now and then he would go, "This is the sharpener XYZ."
Right.
That was made from this year to this year, and he showed how they would sharpen the pencil. It had a weird blade that would turn and flip.
I just saw a Japanese pencil company with that showing you how their new sharpener works and how most sharpeners fail because they snap the tip at the end because the sharpener is doing two different things. So their sharpener has two different holes, each to do one of the things.
Oh, okay.
That just came across my. Oh, we got all sorts of pen talk here now. Let's see. Captain Finity. I'm all about, he just picked up another box of cartridges for his Uniball Signo broad ink pen. I don't know that one at all. The paint pens in D&D game stores are good. And now the Poscas. Yeah. Tonight's show is my daughter's paradise. I bought some Poscas and some other brand. The brush pen from the people that bought you the bicycle car. I guess that's Kuretake. My daughter Anita might adopt Jared as her Jedi Master. She's becoming an art supply fan too. If she goes on my channel, she can look up art supply hauls. I've got a few of them over the years where I bought art supplies and showed them off. So I certainly have a lot of art supplies. Let's show another comic book. What do I got here? What do I want to show off? Die. Loaded, issue number 8. And I have to say, this volume 2 seems a little sadder than volume 1. These poor people trapped in this D&D world that they just can't get out of. Some nice art from Stephanie Hans. Kieran Gillen on the writing. Clayton Cowles, I believe, is the letterer. But this is the story about the name of the world is Die. And it's built like a 20-sided die. Each face has a different sort of fantasy world on it. In volume 1, a bunch of people got trapped in this world. And it took them years. You can get out of the world easily. You just have to get your party together and say, we all want to go home now, and you're out of the world. Of course, there's always someone who doesn't want to go home now. And this one seems sadder because there's a new party of people, some of them who are related to the old party of people. So now they know what's happening to them because the old party got out and was home for a while, but they couldn't really tell them exactly what happened. That was part of them getting out somehow. But now that they're in, they kind of know exactly what happened to their friends. And it's just like, and they're sad in there. Like, when you die in this world, you become like a zombie. And you have to so you wander around like a zombie. And there's like a party of 6 of them. And they finally got all together. And one of the party, like the 16-year-old boy, doesn't want to leave. So he ended up just killing like 2 or 3 of the party and leaving on his own. And then the woman who's kind of the head comes back and goes, oh, crap, they're dead? So now they're zombies. So she had to find a spell to keep them as human as possible. But in order to get things done in the world, you need gold. And your gold disappears at night. So every day you have to earn gold if you want to do spells and things. So they have to find a way to earn gold to keep the zombie members of their parties from being total zombies. And the only way they can stop being zombies is if they kill someone else and that person becomes a zombie. And it's like, they're just so screwed. They're just so screwed. It's like, oh man. It seems sadder than the first one when it was, in fact, a D&D party who got sucked into the world. So they kind of knew what they were doing a little more. They were a little less sad.
Right, because they knew how to play the game.
Right. They don't know that. And it's just like, And then, the leader, the one sort of the leader of the party is like, they're mostly younger, but she's like their mother's age. So she's like 42 or something. And she's just like, she's at her wit's end with this 16-year-old boy who killed other members of the party just so he can go and get blowjobs from wenches. Sorry for the adult language for a moment there. But it's sad.
So, but to me, it sounds more like it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, just upping the gore and body count.
You know what? Now that well, I don't remember Nightmare on Elm Street being sad, but I haven't watched.
No, but you don't just.
But it's a nightmare. You're right.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare. Captain Kennedy.
You're stuck in a horror universe.
Yeah,
and you've already seen the first movie, and what happens in the second movie? You up the gore in the body count.
There you go.
So it's kind of predictable that way.
That makes sense.
True.
That makes sense. And it's not really supposed to be a horror movie universe, but it is, because it's like a fantasy universe. But it's horror because horrible things happen in fantasy universes.
Mm-hmm.
I just snapped a lead tip using a standard pencil sharpener. Whoa, what timing? You have to look up that pencil sharpener. Super cute and relaxing, my haul video. Sometimes we see those videos. Her normal reaction is, Dad, I really need one of those. Objective to draw K-pop outfits for her idols. Ah. K-pop. What did I just get from the... I didn't do a haul video because I think all I got was paper. It's like I was running out of paper. And here's a weird... I was just writing a blog. I was just writing an art supply blog for my webcomic blog, radiantcomics.com. Vellum, Bristol board usually comes in two varieties, smooth and vellum. Right? Yeah. Have you used both of them?
I've used
I use smooth the most.
Yeah, I've used them both.
Vellum's a little rougher. Have you used them both, Chris?
I think the last time I tried to use vellum was I was still inking with or lettering with crow quills, and
that'd be tougher on vellum.
And it just bled right in, and yeah. So,
but here's what's weird about that. I usually do my covers to comics that don't exist, and I use my markers to color them eventually. The alcohol markers, and now I got the water-based markers too, so I could use either one. So I actually ran out of smooth 11x17 vellum. So I was like, I'm Bristol. So I was like, I got some vellum here. Let's use the vellum. Now, usually when I'm using the alcohol markers, the vellum really soaks it up. Like it takes more ink because since the vellum surface is rougher, it's more like it acted more like a sponge and soaked up the marker ink. So it's like, no problem. Then I decided to use my water-based markers on the vellum, and the complete opposite happened. It pooled up on the top of the vellum. And I didn't notice. So it's like I was putting in marker, and then I put my hand in it and left little hand prints everywhere. And I was like, what's going on? And I noticed for some reason, and it doesn't happen with ink. It doesn't happen with the alcohol markers, but with these, and I'm talking, it would take 20 minutes to dry. I would fill in an area with the color, and it would just be wet on top for 20 minutes, like little parts of it, not the whole thing. And I was just like, what science is this? That the alcohol markers suck it up like a sponge, and the pigment water ones sit on the top surface. But I found that very weird.
Very much so, because I would figure you were going to tell me that with the watercolor ones, it was going to start picking up the paper and making little balls. I've seen that happen on paper with watercolor markers, where it's like, oh, this is just chopping stuff up.
Right.
That's That was not the reaction I thought you were going to tell me.
No, it's completely surprised me. Pooling up on top, I had to be really careful and do a little bit of this part, turn the paper, do a little bit of this part, wait for it, take a break, wait for it all to dry. It was very strange.
Wow.
Then the next one that was vellum, I'm using my alcohol markers on it. And sure enough, it just soaked it right up. I was like, I don't get it.
No sense.
Something in the sizing. Art supply talk, always fun.
Oh, yeah.
What are your favorite art supplies, Chris?
Kuretake zebra pen.
Ah, okay. Kuretake zebra pen. I think I've tried. I think I have some in my bin o pens.
I like these big fat Faber-Castell.
Oh,
markers for
right.
I like
those are pigment based.
Yeah, I like those as well.
I think they stopped making those in all but the big brush.
Well, big brush is all I need because I use it for filling lots of blacks.
Okay.
And I do have a Pentel pocket brush that I was experimenting with. Like they take the cartridges. I think you're just talking about these are the Scotty Young pens.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to put India ink in them.
I think this is a better version of them.
So I'm gonna have to remember. I'll come back at some point and ask you what is that, so I can use that.
Like I think I saw Scotty Young on TikTok. Showing, so I can show you. I bought them off of Amazon, so the links.
Otherwise, you got to keep buying the cartridges.
You know what? I now have since I bought a bunch of cartridge-based pens, I now have a bunch of cartridges lying around, and I'm like, which pen does this go to? I don't remember.
Goes to all of them.
If they fit, yeah, they go to all of them.
I think I got a Pentel. This is one of my 2 traveling kits. Now, mind you, I only commute, which, by the way, I'm depressed this week because one of my classes got canceled.
Oh.
I have like 2 of these kits set up that I can just grab if I'm going somewhere and want a bunch of equipment with me, even though I never go anywhere and need a bunch of equipment with me. I think in here, yeah, there we go. There's one of those Pentel pens.
Yeah.
These are pretty good.
Have you ever just taken one of the empty cartridges and filled it with India ink?
I have not tried that because I haven't used it that much. And I've tried that before with other pens, and it doesn't work because the cartridges are pressurized somehow. So you can't just refill them. I don't know. It looks like it's just sitting in there to me, but like I said, this fountain pen adapter works just fine. This replaces the cartridge.
Right.
I think you need to buy this particular pen in order to use it. I don't think it fits in a Pentel.
Then that's what I'll buy.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Scotty Young approved.
There you go. Yeah, once you find the link, just share it. I'm in the middle of also creating a travel kit. And funny enough, from the TikTok shop, I bought a bag for it.
Okay.
So this is the bag itself. I think it's called Wexler's.
Okay. I have seen those advertised.
So they're advertised. I got it for like $10. And
yeah, they're cheap.
With the TikTok shop, you find that just right after you order it, there'll be another ad for it for like half of that price.
Yeah.
So I like the size of it is just a tiny bit smaller than a 8.5 by 11 sketchbook.
Oh, okay.
So it's a
That's a little annoying.
Yeah, so it's like I was hoping that, because unfortunately when you take a quick look of it, they don't give you the right measurements. And this bag was also featured on a bunch of AI ads, and it looks like it's a big backpack.
Oh yeah.
So because of it, it was like, all right, I do have smaller sketchbooks, so I can put it with it.
This one is designed for arrangement. And you can get them at Jet Pens or I think Amazon. They're pretty good. They're designed for pens and things. So
right.
We have a zebra pen question for Chris. Portfolio. Sorry to ask, Chris, but why zebra pens? Any special effect?
It's just like it's a really good thin to thick kind of a line you can get out of it. And you can get real small and you can get real fat.
Does it have a rubber, a soft rubber tip? Yeah. I like those ones.
And these ones I do. I'll cut them open. I'll cut them open and put India ink in them, and it'll extend life for a while until it just starts clogging up.
That's why if you use this ink, it won't clog up. This is rapidograph ink that's made for but that's Black India. That's not rapidograph Ultra Draw. You got to get the stuff that was made for.
Could have sworn you told me to get this kind before.
Yeah, I think it's just a different type. It's the same kind. Same brand, but slightly different type. I don't know if they sell this one in those big jugs. They can get tricky with their inks. Or you can actually get glycerin and put a drop of glycerin in your ink.
Right
It's
now,
a surface
I'm
tension
obsessed
breaker.
I know I ordered a bunch of extra cartridges for my Pentel brush pen. Now I can't find where they went. I know I had them.
Portfolio says, "Wow, traveling kits. Now I have to get one of those for my kid or I'll be fired." Yeah, designed for arrangement. I like these kits. They got the zipper, open zipper here. You can put I think it's a 6x9 sketchbook. Yeah, 9x6. Fits in there, a thin one. Then it's got all these big thing for pen. Then these right here are pockets you can put stuff in. It's got another, yeah. So I just keep all my pens up top there and usually put some cards or something in these slots. There we go. There's some little cards. But I've got a green one and a black one. And I've got a bigger one, too. Is that over here? This one's empty right now. I used to carry it. This is the bigger. This is the 8.5x11 version. Same thing. Designed for arrangement. Same thing. It's got big pockets up here. It's got some pen slots here. It's got those in there. And of course, it opens up and you put your paper or sketchbook in there. I think this one fits 8.5x11. Let's see. 20 to 33. That's 13 inches. 29.5 inches. So this will fit 8.5x11 probably.
Yeah, it looks like a good one.
Yeah, I like these designed by arrangement stuff. I think they do a nice job thinking about stuff that artists need. What's your favorite pen for writing, Paolo?
Pen for writing. I get free pens whenever I have a immediate thing, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you don't have a favorite pen? I used to have a favorite pen for writing. Actually, you know what pen I like for writing notes in? a sort of classic Papermate flare pen. Remember these?
Yeah.
They were always everywhere. It's just a little felt tip pen, very smooth for writing.
No, we don't really like felt tip. We prefer ballpoint.
Almost everybody does. I mean, this is like the only felt tip writing pen out there still. But I still kind of like them. I write in my little book with them sometimes when I'm not writing with my little, Le Pen drawing pen or something. I love that Le Pen. Marvy. I think that's made in Japan. Yeah, Japan. It's not French. Despite it being called Le Pen, which they probably don't call anything Le Pen. Is Chris still looking for his favorite equipment?
I don't know where that goddamn stuff went.
I'm going to have to look. On my purchased stuff. See if I can find that brush pen for Chris. Orders? Oh, it wants me to sign in. Let me go to my other browser, which is already signed in. I'm double browsering it. It doesn't want me to do anything. Oh, well, it won't let me look it up right now. Perfect to carry K-pop photo cards, Poscas and photo cards, this generation's cigarettes. I got some. You know what weren't very good paint pens? Where are they? I have other design for arrangement bags filled with stuff. These are good for keeping pens in. Sharpie paint pens, not very good.
No? Oh, okay.
I was surprised. And also, let me see if they're in here. Copic came out with a paint pen. Whoops. Not very good. The cheap Chinese paint pens, they've even got a ball in there to stir up the paint. And I think it was like $20 for a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they were not cheap paint pens, and they weren't. And the Sharpies weren't any better than the cheap Chinese ones, nor were the Copics. So I was very not happy with those. What else do I got in here? Oh, these ones are all. I'm trying out. These are the art ones. Who makes these? Montana. Water-based acrylic. I think these are by Montana. I don't see their logo on them. But these ones are sold at like Blick for artists, and you can refill them. So you buy paint and you buy acrylic refills. Then I got some Poscas too. There's the other design. I have so many bags of art supply. What's in this one? Oh, this has got these. These are the small version of those pit ones, the black pit one that Chris was showing us. They're smaller paint pens. They're pigment based. And they're a brush pen. I use these with my Pantone markers because they're both pigment-based, water-based. But yeah, this is the single. It only opens up once. This is the double. It opens up two sides, and there's a triple. Whoops, I don't have one of the triples. And then there's, let's keep the art supply tip going. Let's see. Then there's the roll up of little black markers, which when you fill this thing up, you can't roll it up. And it doesn't reach long enough to snap. So if you actually fill up your roll up thing with markers, you can't use it that way. Somewhere in here, I might have a zebra. I had all sorts of different fun ones.
Usually I associate those with the brushes that rolled up. Never thought about them having it for pens too.
Yep, they sell them with pens. In the beginning of the summer, I helped my daughter organize her bedroom. I helped her organize 9 pencil cases like those. She might have more than me, but I've got plenty. It runs in the family. Her mother's dream is to one day have an art supply store. I have a lot of those pen holders, that are like black with holes in the top, and you just put 100 pens in there.
Yeah, I have something like that for my pens. I have my pens broken down in the sense of the inking pens for like sketch cards and stuff like that. The Faber-Castell pens are all in that type of stuff, and then behind it are like all the different types of Sharpies that I use. And those are like the main pens that I'm always using. And then I have various cups around in the studio filled with pens that are like either everyday pens or markers or stuff like that. So it's something like this, which I have in the Star Trek cup, full of the various pens and
that's a lot of pens stuffed in there.
Completely. And it all changes around, because it will be like whatever tool I kind of need at the time. It doesn't have to be exactly. It's like, oh, if I need a quick brush to do something, I have a brush in there. If I need a pen, I got a quick pen. And sometimes I have to go through it to see which pens might be dry so I can get rid of them. Because sometimes I have the bad habit of grabbing a pen that I need for writing. And it's like, that's not really a pen for writing. So I try to keep the ballpoint pens together, and then eventually, I would use them up to the point where it's like, there's no more ink in this pen. Why am I keeping this pen? It's because I had the habit of putting it back. It's like, okay, I got to go through it to see if I can either refill it or, is there a cartridge? Because sometimes I just like the outside of the pen, but I might have used up the cartridge. So that's like the Spider-Man pen that I have from Marvel back in the 90s, which I went through the ink pretty quickly.
You want to refill that one?
I want to refill this one because it's a gold Spider-Man at the end of it.
So don't just throw that one in the trash.
Not at all. So heavy at the top. You have it in your hand and it can fall out. But again, it's like I want to use this as the writing pen kind of a thing.
And speaking of pens, I wonder what pen Jeff Darrow uses, because I think he's a pen. I don't know if he's a pen or a brush guy. It looks to me like he's probably a pen guy.
I would think he's a pen.
Usually when you got this type of graphomania, you're a pen guy.
Yeah.
But the latest issue of Shaolin Cowboy, staying AI live. And usually Shaolin Cowboy is he's in fights. And it's fun stuff. Now I think a whole bunch of guys who say they're ICE deputies want to deport him back to Mexico, even though he's not Mexican. So he's just, and he's got a dog with him. So, like I said, Shaolin, if you've never read Shaolin Cowboy, they're just huge, long, kung fu-ish fight scenes. Oh, and that's right. In this one, a sentient Coca-Cola dispenser is turning into a villain. It's going to beat him up for not paying for his soda or something. So it's always a treat to get a new Shaolin Cowboy. So it was good. Oh, and there was in the latest Comics the Magazine, there's a pretty good little interview with Jeff Darrow. I have to say, this last issue of Comics the Magazine, issue 7, I think it is the best one so far as interviews go. Their actual sort of 3 or 4 page interviews were, like in the beginning ones, there were more like press releases. And this one, so there was, like I said, there was Matt Kint talking about Fort Psycho. There was Jeff Darrow talking about Shaolin Cowboy. And there was Jim Rugg talking about his love for Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X. Jeff doesn't use pens. He uses nanotech robots, millions of them. It's a portfolio. Well, let's see.
That's believable.
Captain Infinity says, for final artwork, I use Uniball, whereas for sketching, I use the Uniball. Whereas for writing notes, I use the Uniball. So I think your sketches might fade, like ballpoint pen ink isn't archival. It fades away. She already has one of those 100 cases. The force is strong with this one. 100 cases. Let's see. I also got Dork. Not much to say about Dork, issue 7, except it continues to be good. I hope it's still selling well.
Yeah, well, you know, it is. If it's not a number 1, people aren't really making an issue of it.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. Are people still buying it? I know it's not going to sell as many as number 1. Nothing does, but I hope enough people are. I hope a goodly amount of people are still buying it because it's a fun story, and it's half dwarf, half orc. The dwarves hate him. The orcs hate him. He's on this little quest right now. Stopped in this house near the bog and ran into some sort of bog witch. Oh, it's Captain Finch says, it's definitely an inky ink pen that takes ink cartridges. I don't know how archival ink cartridges are. I've never really delved into that too much. Like, I don't know how archival, like, fountain pen ink cartridges are. I just don't know. Like the ink cartridges that I use with this Pentel. I have no idea how archival that is. Because I know they do have some archival ink, Pentel. They have, what do we have here? This is the regular sign pen that Gil Kane inked with in the late 70s, early 80s, and why all his pages faded away. But I refill this with India ink. Then there's the Pentel Touch Pen, which has pigmented ink to begin with. So I think it's more archival. And then this is definitely their archival ink one, the gray one. I think it's just the Fuge. No, this is the Touch Pen is the pigmented one with the soft tip that Chris was just showing us on that zebra. So it's got that sort of soft kind of tip. And then this one is the pigmented one with the hard tip. So I don't know what ink they use in this. I would hope they use the pigment ink because it's more expensive, but I really don't know. Some more ink talk for you. We're getting into some ink tonight.
Oh, yeah. Another thing that I got into the studio this week is an original art cell from the Super Friends cartoon.
Ah.
And it's an overhead shot of the Batmobile.
Okay.
And it was a gift from the guys at Committed Comics who wanted to send me kind of a thank you gift for all the work that I've done with them over the years. They're pretty much celebrating their 25th anniversary as an independent publisher. And when they got their start, I was one of the first artists they approached to help them out with stuff. I did logo designs, coloring, lettering, inking, a little bit of everything. And I've known them for years. And usually when I go to San Diego, they have a spot for me to sit for a few hours. Mm-hmm. So, if you don't have your own table, it's good to have a home base.
Yeah.
Go to at a con, just to at least put your jacket on or something like that. Or when you just want to sit down and relax a little bit. So while I was in San Diego, they told me, oh, I got this for you. But didn't know you were going to be here. And it was great because I wouldn't want to travel with this thing.
Yeah.
So they
framed picture. That's tough.
Yeah. So they mailed it to me. It got here great because they packed it so well. And I don't know, I have a nice little piece of original animation cell from Super Friends, and it's season 4. I was able to actually look up where it was from. So it's like a nice little Batmobile for me.
Cool. I want to show you I think I've shown this before, the most fugitive ink ever. This is this one. See that one right there? Purple pen with I got 3 marks on it. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. This is it right out of the marker.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
That's insane. I would say that's a different color altogether.
Yeah. And it did that in a matter of months. I mean, I really like that color.
Yeah, it's a nice color. Nice. But
there's no other marker I have that's that fugitive.
Wow.
And that's crazy. I mean, that went from a purple to a pink.
Yeah.
Like there's some. It's almost always the blues too.
Which brand of markers is this?
That is the Blick marker. Blick Studio.
Oh, okay.
None of all the other ones aren't fugitive because I always swatch them. None of these are fugitive. And I made this in 2023, 2/5/2023. So I always date my swatches too, so I know.
Right.
So far, this is the most fugitive Copic one. B69, Stratospheric Blue. Where'd that one go? Here's B69. There we go. First of all, Those 3 purples right there are B69 stratospheric blue.
Wow.
And let's see if we can't. Let's put another one here. That's what it looks like out of the. So that one from 9/29/23, 3 years later, 3 years have gone by, and that's how different it is.
Wow.
But that's what markers can do to you. I'm just put a date there now. Let's see. 8/14/26. And the first one was, like I said, 2017. I made the first one right there that says B69 under it. But that you got to be careful with markers.
Yep.
That's why I swatched them. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. Wild.
Stratospheric blue. Captain Finity says, "Yep, I got illustrations going back 20 years, and the blacks are black as ever. That's good. If anything, the ink is getting darker with age. It's like a black hole. No light escapes." Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember now. Fountain pen ink isn't waterproof, but it must be archival. Waterproof matters in the summer, and what like India ink is either waterproof or it's not. Like most comic book India ink is waterproof, which means if you put water next to it, it won't run. There's some India ink that's not waterproof, which means you can go back into it with water and it'll blend in. It won't keep that sharp line. And back when I was starting out, matter of fact, I still have some of it out in the garage. I bought a big container of India ink, and I accidentally bought non-waterproof India ink. I was like, oh. And I had no money to replace it. Because it was just like, I was right out of college. I didn't have money. So I used the ink. But the problem I found with it was generally no problem most of the time. But in the summertime, no air conditioning, my hand would get sweaty. And if I put my hand in the ink, it would pick it up, and I made handprints with my hand in ink all over the page. I was like, ah. So I had to work with something under my hand, which I usually do anyway, but these days I just remember being so disappointed that I bought the wrong ink and couldn't get it.
I've done that working on a page and not realizing how much I might have been sweating because it's a hot summer day. So you wouldn't realize it until like your hands on the page like this.
Right.
And not realizing how all this is kind of getting wet. And then you pick up your arm and you realize it's the paper's buckling.
Yeah.
Where you might have had this whole area touching the page. I've done that so many times.
Not Chris. He draws with a glove on his hand. There you go.
It stops the computer screen from buckling when you're working on a tablet. No, when I'm on paper, I'll just put a piece of paper under my hand if it's an issue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When Paolo leans back just right, that plant behind him looks like he's got a top knot. He's a samurai.
Awesome.
Samurai Paolo.
Samurai Paolo.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see, another comic I got. Of the Earth, #4. Charlie Adler is just killing it on this with the art. I love it. This is the one that's about the monster that's coming out of the oil well, the wildcatter, and it's sort of like an old school slow burn horror movie. But I just love Charlie Adler's storytelling in this. I think it's terrific. So I'm really enjoying this series. I assume it's a limited series, but who knows these days. Have any of you ever met Charlie Adler?
Nope.
I want to say back in the 90s, I may have met him working on... I think he might have worked on some pages of Foot Soldier for Jim Kruger over at Marvel when he was doing his creator-owned thing. I think Charlie did some stuff in that first issues, but I'm not positive. But I think that was the only time I might have ever met him. I would say book signing.
For working on one of the most high-profile books ever, I never hear his name mentioned a whole lot.
I was always under the impression he was English, because I think the first time I noticed him, he was at Vertigo, doing something at Vertigo.
I first noticed him, I think, on X-Files. So I didn't think he was English. Iron Zero says, Chris, can you show us what you're working on?
Yeah, maybe. I'll turn this camera around.
Ah.
Oh, neat.
Remember Heroes Reborn?
I do.
So this is a recreation of a promo poster.
Okay.
From Heroes Reborn.
Who did the original?
Rob Liefeld.
Okay. I thought he was doing Captain America, but I didn't know he did all the promo.
Yeah, I'm working on the colors.
The colors. Now, did someone buy the original art for that, or a print, or what? How does that go when you do colors on the computer for a commission?
That's the same guy that commissioned those Marvel Universe covers.
Okay, so he gets the original art plus a print.
He likes to see them all colored up.
Okay,
so and he wants all the files, and so
yeah,
like okay.
No
and
problem.
He gets the original black and white on first.
Right. So you don't print him anything? He prints it himself?
I don't even think
if
he prints it. I don't think he even prints it.
Okay, he just wants to see it in color on his computer, tablet, phone, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
I guess he's a 90s kid, huh?
He's more late 70s, all 80s, early 90s kid.
Okay.
He's a big John Byrne guy.
Big John Byrne. I was just seeing a little post of John Byrne's OMAC. I didn't realize how long ago he did that. That was
OMAC,
the 80s.
Yeah, that was it the 80s? I thought it was 90s.
Someone said it was just a few years. I think someone said it was 6 years after his X-Men.
That sounds right. Yeah.
That would be the 80s, right? When did he stop the X-Men?
82? No, before. Because it started Fantastic Four in 81.
So maybe late 80s was OMAC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Never thought of it being 80s, but it was. Yeah.
Because I think they were they mentioned the story that Robert Kelly is running for the 1980 presidential election.
Ah. One Man Army Corps. I can't say OMAC without at some point saying
One man army corps.
Yeah.
Well,
just
that's
because
the
I
whole
love
logo.
saying One Man Army Corps. I don't know why. Just
Well, speaking of burn, all of the X-Men 97, the guys who were watching X-Men 97, a few of them were all going crazy because Flatman from the Great Lakes Avengers Morph turns into him.
Yep. They've been having a lot of fun sneaking in other characters with Morph just for seconds. That he'll change into another character, and it's like, that's neat.
And of course, nobody under the age of 40 was able to recognize Flatman.
Oh, my brother was excited when he thought, "Oh, he turned into Flatman." It's like, what? And it is a blink and you'll miss him moment. It was so quick. Yep.
I'm trying to think about other Flatmen, like with sort of the same power they flatten out. Because there have been like
even Marvel has.
There've been like a couple like throwaway characters like that.
Well, Marvel had one who not only stretches but becomes thin because he's a thin man.
Okay.
Who predates Plastic Man.
Ah, that is old.
I think Thin Man appeared in like 2 or 3 stories back in the Golden Age. Then he appeared in a couple of issues of the Invaders, and in the early 2000 New Invaders, he's the one who puts that team together and they even bring back the other water hero that Bill Everett came up with, the Finn.
Yeah,
the Finn.
I like that comic. It was only 9 issues, but it was fun.
What was the name of it?
The New Invaders.
The New Invaders. That was from the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, I vaguely remember it, but I don't think I ever.
Not 90s. It was early 2000s. It was shortly after Bendis had turned the Avengers into the New Avengers. So they had a couple of years where everybody was new or all new again.
All new, all different. I never made it through that omnibus of Grant Morrison X-Men. I had to return it to the library before I made it through. Just went,
It's not a hard read.
Yeah, I have so many. When I'm buying 8-9 comics a week and reading them twice, and have other. Sometimes I take stuff out of the library and I'm just like, I don't have to read it all the way if I don't want. I can always take it out again.
Speaking of Morrison, I'm watching the Hercules Paddocks channel. He just did 2 videos on The Filth, which is the Grant Morrison series that I don't like. Because he's just using the leftover ideas from the Invisibles, and you put them all together and they don't add up to a story.
Like Grant Morrison to me is the master of the first issue. Very good at throwing all these intriguing ideas out there. A lot of them go nowhere. Then he's not the master of wrapping things up.
He can do it if he has an editor, which is why I actually think that JLA and New X-Men are his most solid work. Yeah. Because since he's using corporate characters, the story has to make sense.
They insist on it.
Yeah, because you remember I read The Invisible some months ago, and the volume 1 doesn't go anywhere for like a year. That's why it was almost getting canceled all the time.
Portfolio. The guys at X-Men 97 really like Rob. Cable is the GOAT with Liefeld homages everywhere. Where did I just see something about Cable? I can't remember.
Was it Louise Simonson?
Yes, that's what I saw about Cable. Louise Simon. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline. Something
I
about.
Just read your mind.
Louise Simonson. You were right. Louise Simonson gives the real origin of Cable or something like that. Which I'm sure is just a clickbait headline, so I didn't.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Because Louise Simonson isn't much of a troublemaker.
Exactly. She might have just said something at a con. And
Yeah.
like, we're going to make news out of this information.
Chris must have seen that same headline.
Yep.
And didn't read the article, just like me.
Well, Smitty told me about it.
Ah, Smitty. All goes back to Smitty.
Yep.
Huh. Let's see, portfolio. One of these summer days, I picked X-Men: Days of Future Present. What a sad saga! I got all summer down, got all emotional. I don't know that one. I know Days of. Let me guess. Roy Thomas created him.
Of course, Roy Thomas created everything.
That's the secret origin of Cable. Roy Thomas created him.
Mm-hmm. He saw a Cable on the ground and says, "That's a character."
The Days of Future Present was a one of those annuals storylines in the annuals. But the first year that they did a group of 4 annuals doing a storyline. So if I recall correctly, it was X-Men, X-Factor, New Mutants, and Fantastic Four, because since it was the future of the mutants, Franklin Richards was there. That's why the Fantastic Four was there.
Someone should do a sketch cover for some Marvel book as Roy Thomas creates the Marvel universe. What were some of those? The 90s had some of the funniest names at Marvel. Cable, Annex, Cardiac.
What's better? What's a better name for Cable? Cable or Commander X?
I think Commander X is better.
You know, for
like
the
Commander
90s,
X.
I think Commander X works.
I like.
Yeah.
Were we supposed to say Cable?
That was Commander X was what Louise said she wanted to call it, and Rob won. Rob wanted Cable, and he won.
Yeah, it would have been better.
You know what it is? Once someone gets enough popularity, the name just seems normal.
Sure.
That's right. Cable seems normal now, but it certainly didn't in the Cable.
Yeah,
TV?
back then it made no sense, and then it was like he's the Cable. He links the past and the future together. It's like that's a stupid name. That was my thoughts back then, and still kind of is.
Yeah, I don't think anybody liked the name Cable when it first came out, except of course Rob. And I'm sure there were people, but in general, I remember people going, "What a silly name!" But now it's just normal.
Yes, about a year after Cable had debuted, I kind of got used to the name.
Calling a superhero Cable.
Yeah. But I mean, if we go through the names of all the members of the Mutant Liberation Front, they're ridiculous. There was Wildside in The Reaper. Tempo.
Tempo. That's a strange one.
And Strobe.
Yeah,
it's like,
superhero names are hard to put together because sometimes you'll find out, oh, that's a great name, and it was used.
Yeah. That's why people just started picking words, which is funny because it was just about that time in the 90s too. Bands just started picking you couldn't just pick a word anymore for rock bands because there were so many of them. So they started going with 2 words.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many rock bands have like 2 random words as their names starting in the 90s. Because all the single words were taken.
Yeah.
Yep.
The single words still weren't taken in the 90s at Marvel. Annex.
I like the cardiac.
And Rachel Summers. Kick, go copyright for Disney user. Kick. Well, there's Kickers Incorporated. I'm sure
Yeah,
they
that's what
will.
I was thinking. Because Kickers Inc.
Kickers Incorporated. Let's see. I think I got one last comic here to show, which is another booby cover. I always enjoy those.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, Smitty, how are you doing?
Smitty.
Wilson, what's going on, man?
As soon as I say booby cover, Smitty shows up.
My sensor went off.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Here way too late on a Friday night, just trying to get some work done, but I'm throwing in the towel.
Ah, okay.
Chris is here this late every night.
Not every night.
Not every night.
Do your hours overlap when you're in the studio?
Usually, yeah. For sure.
Is one of you an early bird, and one? I know Chris stays late a lot. So
Chris definitely gets here earlier than me, and typically I think we leave around the same time.
what's your typical leaving time?
About 7.
Okay. What's your typical arriving time?
Noon.
All right.
Oh, very nice.
Depending on deadlines, I'll stay later if I have to, but I'm just.
What do you got in the pipeline?
Some pages now.
What are you working on? What do you got in the pipeline?
I have a new book coming out in 2028. It's 200 pages. Oh no, 120 pages each. I got 2 volumes to do.
Cool.
So I'm working on that now, writing and drawing, inking,
Nice.
coloring the whole thing.
The book publishing industry is a grind.
Oh, baby. Don't I know it?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, so staying busy. I got another 10 pages to go on layouts, and then I got to start inking and coloring. So,
All right.
yeah.
Sounds good.
He's a machine.
So, an old, dusty, broken machine.
They don't make them like they used to.
For those of you who don't know, this is Brian Smith. What are your credits? Give us some credits for the people out there to look up.
Mostly lately, I've just been working on my own stuff, like book-wise. But I write and draw a book series called PB&J for younger readers.
Who's your publisher?
That's HarperCollins.
HarperCollins on PB&J.
Yep. Same thing with Officer Colossum that I did with Chris. I wrote that, he drew it.
We saw some Officer Clawsome stuff back when Chris was doing it.
Yep. And then I'm writing a Transformers book right now called Worst Spot Ever.
Wow.
Nice.
For Skybound. It's a middle grade fiction. But
Okay.
let me create a new Transformer.
This Transformers book is fiction.
Yeah. But it's they let me create a new Transformer. He's the worst spot ever. His name is Ballpoint. He's a ballpoint pen. Transforms into a robot. He thinks he's awesome, but he's terrible.
And we've Wilson, Chris, and I know Smitty from our Marvel days.
Yep.
He was an editor there in the 90s. What years were you there?
Late 90s, like early 2000s.
Okay.
So like 99, 98, 99 till around 2003, 2004.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Wilson's intern.
Yep.
Oh, you were Wilson's intern.
Yep.
Whoa. They gave Wilson interns?
They gave me a ton of interns.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I think I have a picture of you and one of your interns. Now I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a picture of Michelle.
Michelle. Yes. There we go. Who was from 40th Street?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, fellas. It was good seeing you all.
Good seeing you too.
See you later.
Take care. All right.
Iron Zero says a ballpoint pen transformer, use archival ink or not. Ballpoint pen? I don't think so.
Yep.
Well, he probably has access to all manners of ink. And
Yeah.
now,
the writer just left, so we have to wait to see.
We can only speculate that. Take down notes for him, and we could ask him again later.
Yes.
Innards number 3. Who is this? Rob Guillory, Sam Lofty, or Lotfi. The T comes first, then the F. Colorist Jean-Francois Bellieu. The letterer Andrew Thomas. Here, I'll show the. There's our creative team.
Lotfi, where's that come from?
Lotfi.
There's our booby cover.
Nice.
And this is the one that's a horror story. They have to go deep in the earth in order to mine energy. And there's something scary down there. It's kind of like the movie It, I'd compare it to, except instead of Antarctica, they're down under the earth. And there might be monsters down there. And this is the one where they have to use a teleporter, but the teleporter isn't quite perfect. And a mole that was on your butt ended up on her face, or vice versa. So it's a good horror story. I've been enjoying this one. And I think Rob Guillory had something to do with Chew. Was he the artist on Chew or the writer?
He was.
He was the artist on Chew?
Yes.
Okay. So he's doing the writing here, and Sam Lotfi is doing the art. But it's good stuff. Once again, probably a 5-issue mini. I think that seems to be standard now, around 5, but not always. Oh, this is one of those Ignition Press books. They've been putting out good stuff. Oh, and my number is 3504. There are many numbers like it, but this is mine.
Yep.
Tit Goblin has something to say. I had a red paper sign in ballpoint in the window saying broken window. It's bleached pure white now, and the ballpoint ink is totally gone. Pure white. Ballpoint totally not archival.
But he kept the sign in the window, and he's not going to change it. It's just a white sign now.
Yeah. That's like I saw on TikTok someone giving a little tour of a local comic shop, and he walked in like the entrance, and I was like, oh man, you got to change some of those. There was like one book that was totally sun faded. I was like, oh, you got to change those a little more often.
Once in where was it? In New Jersey, small town in New Jersey, whose name I can't think of right at Westwood, New Jersey. There was a store there that had closed sometime in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
And this is the late 90s now. And it might even close right before the 80s, when it was like 77 or something. So in the town, they changed the direction of one of the roads. It used to be like a 2-way street. They made it a 1-way, and the guy who owned the store was so upset that they changed the road. He closed down the store and never went back. And this store was like a like an old soda shop.
Uh-huh.
But they sold stuff in the shop. They didn't have comics, but they had games and some toys and things like that. But everything that's been in the window has been in the window since like the late 70s through the 80s, since this shop's been closed. And everything's sun-kissed to the point that only colors that are left are the blues. All the other colors are gone. And it's amazing just to look into this shop and have all these items, and they're all just has their blue plate is the only thing that's staying. Every other color fade from that. And I've seen some comic books like that where you know, you can't have this, you know, especially when you walk into so many comic shops have open store windows that go right onto everything in the shop.
Yeah, you can tell the comic shop owner doesn't care when he's got faded books in the window. You're just like,
Yep.
This guy's not putting in the hours.
Higgins was recently, he did some interview about like comic book covers and stuff. That
Who did?
Higgins.
Okay.
And one of the comics that came up was Fantastic Four. I forget which issue it is, but it's She-Hulk in the lineup, and the four of them are standing there, and then they kind of just like get repeated back into infinity.
Oh yes, I did. I read that. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I remember that cover.
So John Byrne just drew the figures, and then Higgins did all the production work to make that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And he has all the plates.
Mm-hmm.
And he had them hanging up, and then you notice like they're fading, but one of them completely changed color.
Wow.
That he's like, wait, there's no way what I'm looking at this shouldn't be able to happen.
Right.
Like all I could say was like, I don't know, maybe it changed color, but I think he was like, there was, I can't remember. I have to look up in the email again. But
okay.
That might be a big discussion for. I could review it and then bring it back to the table next time.
Yeah.
Production master Jared Osborne could weigh in.
We'll see. Try to figure out what's going on. I've seen Higgins pop up on the Jack Kirby. What is it? The Marvel Method page a lot. They're quoting him a lot from some old interviews, and I think they posted him talking about making that cover.
Yeah, that's.
So I know exactly which cover you mean, but I don't remember him saying anything about it fading. I mean, the colors fading. I just remember him.
Yeah, that's not in the article or anything. Yeah, but that was just something he was emailing me directly. Like,
this
is a really weird thing, and I'm
something
not quite
strange happened. Like how he even like something that most people wouldn't even get unless you're a production guy. When he had, because he was talking about it when he and if you don't know the cover, it's the Fantastic Four. They're supposed to be like shrinking, right? Or shrinking or growing, one of the others. So it's a drawing of the four of them.
It's in perspective, so it's like it's like an infinite like repeat backwards.
They're going back in space. But the whole idea is here's the illustration. Here's the illustration a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller, and going way back into space and disappearing.
Yeah.
And as he said, you can't just do that starting at 100%, making it 90%, 80%, 70%. It's like not a direct mathematical thing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look right when you do it that way. And I know because I've tried to do things like that, like digitally on occasion, I think. I was just like, just shrink it down 10% every time. And it doesn't work like that. You have to do it sort of visually. So he had to figure out every percentage as they went back in space to make it look right visually.
Yeah.
Right.
Before computers.
Yeah, before computers. Use the old proportion wheel.
You probably had to deal with for each character individually.
I think he could do all. Maybe he did. But I think. Yeah, I don't know how.
He probably would have done them all four at once.
Yeah.
So that at least
because they were going back in space together.
And then you have to like carve out.
Yeah, but he had actually cut them out too. So I just looked at it and read it and went, "Wow, that's a lot of work." Can we get a Reed Rippin slab with only faded covers? I'll have to see if I can do that. Captain Finity says, today I learned my Uniball ink pen does have a tiny ball in the nib, but is not a ballpoint pen in the commonly used sense of the term. Or rather that ballpoint actually refers to the inferior ink and not the actual, whether the pen has a ballpoint. Usually ballpoint pens, the ball, you're writing with the ball. The ball, like the ball turning around puts the ink on the paper.
Right.
But then there's something like a rapidograph, which has a pin in the hole, and you press the pin up against the paper and ink flows around the pin. I guess if it's not a typical ballpoint pen, somehow the ink can flow around the ball. I don't know. I'll have to look. But I remember liking Uniball pens. They were very smooth. But I think it was Frank Cho who, like, last couple of years has been doing a lot of ballpoint pen drawings. because you can really shade with a ballpoint. Shading with a ball, like a blue ballpoint pen, almost looks like shading with a pencil, because you can have a really light touch with it and get really good gradations, but it's going to disappear. Like a Gil Kane inked page from the early 80s.
Well, that way the people have to rehire Frank Cho to restore the cover. But that reduces its value because now it's a restored cover.
Captain Infinity says, so that's why I love this pen so much. All the permanent ink of a nib pen with the smooth flow of a ballpoint. Boom! There he goes. Yeah, I don't use a ballpoint pen much. Got plenty others. Plenty of others.
I didn't even have to buy ballpoint pens and notepads. They just give them to me. It's like, yeah, it's like their own. It was the car manufacturer's own stationery, so they just give it to us.
I made a few like stationery pads in my book binding, just on scrap paper, testing out the glue. Like, oh, I can make a notepad. Look at that. Just a simple, nothing but paper and glue notepad. I got to figure out what other books I want to make and sell some on eBay now that I'm down a class. That's not good.
Are they just not enough students for the class?
Not enough students. Trump's war on higher education is winning. And a lot of foreign students don't want to come here. I just read that SVA's students are down a third since 2019. So they're having a bit of trouble too. But, canceling classes, going from 10 students to 0 students is more than a third.
Yes.
So it's like, ooh. Well, we should wrap up and let Paolo get to bed and put his top knot to sleep.
Yep. It's that time.
So you should get home too, Chris. Time to wrap up for the night.
Yeah.
You should walk home and stop by the soda shop first.
It's Friday night. You should hit Studio 54.
Yep.
I don't think they have that in North Carolina.
The only place that's tempting for me to go is Dave's Hot Chicken right now.
Dave's Hot Chicken. All right.
All right.
All right. So everyone have a good night. We'll catch you next time. Whoops. Hey, my thing just went wonky. Now we'll end the stream.